is the Ebola czar. Isn't he supposed to lead our nation's fight against Ebola? We see the governors of New York, New Jersey, and Illinois imposing mandatory quarantine policies. And the Pentagon is charting its own course. But U.S. troops returning from West Africa, but we have not seen or even heard from the man hired to take center stage in America's Ebola response. Instead, the White House claiming the Ebola czar is working behind the scenes. And former Congressman Alan West joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I suppose he could be, quote, working behind the scenes, but it would be nice to see him if he's the man in charge, or at least he's the liaison to the president on this.
No, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, we were told that Ron Klain was going to come in to be the visible face of the Ebola crisis and to coordinate and synchronize all of these activities, because obviously the CDC director, Dr. Frieden, had not done a good job of it. But yet we find over the last 48 to 72 hours we have even more confusion. You know, the president started out by saying that we were not going to have Ebola reach our shores. Well, that happened. And of course, when they tried to implement certain policies and procedures, you know, you still had people that were, you know, contracting the Ebola virus. We find out now that governors are trying to take this situation under control and institute policies and procedures. Now the White House disagrees with that. And we find that even in the Pentagon, you have the Department of the Army instituting policies, but the other services have not. And you can't get an answer from the Secretary of Defense. So where is this person that's supposed to be coordinating and synchronizing all of these efforts?
You know, I'm almost ready to send out the search and rescue squad because we don't know where he is. And even the Josh Earnest press secretary was asked today that very question. He gave the most incredible non-answer. Here's the question and the answer.
I recognize that all of you have not had a chance to see him and talk to him every day, but the president certainly has. And the president is appreciative of his commitment to this very difficult task. And I think the American people are in a position where they can be confident.
I don't know if the American people can be confident because nobody has seen him. And, you know, and we see the governors tripping all over each other and the Pentagon tripping all over the White House. I'd like to at least see him.
Well, you're absolutely right. And again, it seems that this was more of a political move to once again enhance the optics of doing something when actually you're not doing anything. So Ron Klain should be the one that is out there discussing this issue with the governors, meeting with the governors. He should be the one coordinating and synchronizing the efforts in the Pentagon between the respective services, but he's not. And as a matter of fact, the president came out and gave a press conference today that was once again more incoherent rambling.
You know, it's interesting how in that clip I just played is that Josh Earnest said that he sees the president every single day or talks to him. As I understood it, the reporting was not that Ron Klain report directly to the president, but to Lisa Monaco. So I'm not even sure why is the president. I mean, I don't know what to believe. I don't know if he really is meeting with the president, if Josh just threw that one out or what.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's supposedly responding directly to the National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, as well. So, again, we have this convoluted command and control line of communications that no one really understands. And so why did we bring Ron Klain on board in the first place? We get told one thing, we don't see him, we don't hear from him, and we continue to have this confused state of operations. And when the president kind of dismissed our military today, saying that, you know, I'm in command and control of them and their situation is different, we should have standardized procedures for anyone coming back from West Africa.
You know, it's hard to have that sort of sense of I'm in control and command, especially in light of the fact that the World Health Organization notified the world last March 23rd that Ebola was coming, and literally nothing, I mean, very little is done. And then since it's all been trying to play catch up, and nobody knows exactly, you know, what the policies are. Everyone's just stepping all over each other. So it's a little hard to feel someone's really in control.
You're absolutely right, and that's the difference between proactive leadership and reactive management, and I think that's what we have is the latter. Instead of a president and his administration that were paying attention, maybe going to those intelligence briefings and understanding the updates and preparing a plan to have in place and speaking that plan to the American people so that you're ahead of the game.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. Pleasure.
And just what